So, we recently got a new Inside Game of Thrones video featuring Michelle Clapton, who has been the Game of Thrones costume designer ever since season 1. In the video, she basically tells the story of how she became such a freaking good costume designer. And that's all very interesting, of course, especially if you're into that kind of thing. But for people like me, and a lot of you guys in the audience, there is something in this video that we find a lot more interesting. And that is all of the little clips that we get of actors on set filming scenes for season 7. Let's see what hints we can get out of these, shall we? You're now watching Because Geek. A lot of the clips we got didn't mean much. Like this one of Jon looking around, these ones of Dany sitting on her Dragonstone throne, probably about to receive whoever is coming through the doors like we saw in the official trailer. Then we also see her walking outside with Tyrion, Missandei and her Unsullied, and then we see her in the chamber of the painted map table, probably discussing her plan of attack. This one of Sophie Turner throwing a snowball and standing around in the Winterfell Hall, Lyanna Mormont next to one of her soldiers and Brienne sitting across from her, Theon more than likely at Dragonstone based on the background colors, Jaime standing around on the map, probably right before he filmed this scene with Cersei, Liam Cunningham playing with a camera, Tyrion enjoying long walks on the beach, and Arya riding her horse through some fake snow. Then we got some other clips that didn't tell us much either, but there's a few things I want to comment on. Like this one. I talked about this painter guy so much in my trailer breakdown that I actually got super excited when I saw him here. I'm still hoping that Cersei gets offended at something he does and tells him to leave, and that's when we get this scene with Jaime and the unfinished map. But maybe he was just done for the day and went home. There is a follow-up clip to this one that is shown to us mainly to admire Cersei's outfit, since that's what the video is about. But while we admire her outfit, she is admiring her Westeros map. And she's in fact looking in the direction of Dragonstone here. If this isn't just Lena Headey walking around aimlessly during a break between shots, it's very possible that Cersei is looking over there because she has already gotten word that Daenerys has taken Dragonstone, and Cersei is planning her next move. But it is also possible that she's just looking at the Eyrie. From this angle, it's very difficult to say for sure. Then we also have a very quick and funny clip of Sam at the library of the Citadel, climbing on the shelves to get something that's high up. Don't they have ladders or stools or something in this place? Whatever he's trying to reach better be worth it, because this has accident written all over it. But speaking of worth it, could this be the scene where Sam finds that one thing that we're all expecting him to find? We already know how to defeat White Walkers, so whatever he does find has to be something better than that. And if you've been keeping up to date with Game of Thrones news, you must have heard about that scroll that Gilly is reading in this picture, which is a whole passage on the story of Azor Ahai. But how would this legend help Sam? I think if he keeps going down that path, he may learn more about Lightbringer, and then maybe even the lost techniques for making Valyrian steel weapons, or some sort of replacement for it. Maybe him taking Heartsbane with him was a sign that whatever he does next will be related to Valyrian steel. I remember that in the books, Topham Mott was likely the only character in Westeros who knew the spells and techniques to forge Valyrian steel, and he was none other than Gendry's own master. I'm not sure if David and Dan would bring Topham Mott back in season 7, but we do have the possibility of Gendry knowing how to do it, or Sam finding the records needed for Gendry to learn. Being able to forge Valyrian steel weapons again is probably not impossible in the show, especially since David and Dan do have the freedom to nudge the story however they want to make anything happen if they really needed to. But yeah, Sam could also discover some information related to the dragons, or the children of the forest, or the God's Eye. There's so many possibilities. There's also a lot of cobwebs up there, maybe he's just trying to kill a spider, foreshadowing giant ice spiders, I don't know. I also don't know what that stick is for. I'm assuming it may just be used to grab scrolls that are out of reach. But it's also funny how it makes him look like a wizard, right? That thing he always wanted to be. Hey, I'm still hoping that Sam will learn some sort of wizardry proxy to fulfill that wish of his. There is some magic in his world after all. Spells. Yeah. At first glance, there's not much in this clip of Maisie looking at the camera. But when I took a closer look, I noticed that there's a green object on the ground behind her. It could be nothing, but all I know is that anything with that green color on a filming set is usually meant for CGI elements that will be added in post-production. And the only CGI related to Arya that I can think of here is, of course, her wolf Nymeria. You might say I'm starting to read too much into things because I'm so Nymeria biased at this point, but hey, it's a possibility. Macy was in Canada when the acting wolves were working too. Other than that, maybe it will be related to her horse. It does kinda look like the top of a horse's neck, but that's where my guesses end. Littlefinger leaving the crypts may not seem very interesting either. This is probably him leaving after the encounter he had with John that we saw in the trailer, but the one thing I noticed about this whole video is that they do seem to focus a bit more than it's seemingly necessary on Littlefinger's outfits. Maybe they're one of Michelle Clapton's favorites, or maybe they're trying to tell us something, like something major will happen with Littlefinger. We have yet to figure out what is going on with his dagger, which Arya has now claimed, and I know everyone is thinking that this just means that Arya will kill him, but I hope it means something else, as the Nordic HBO has also just released an image featuring this same dagger. This is not even a tease anymore, guys, they're just rubbing it in our faces now. There was a lot of focus on Cersei's clothing too, but she's always going to play a major role, especially now. And we got a clip of her looking around in a room that I can confidently say is in the Red Keep. We have seen these same door frames all around the Red Keep before. And this bed matches Cersei's bed. I will admit that this room doesn't look as grandiose as it should. The bed is too close to the door, which I have never seen in other scenes before, except maybe here. But then again, Cersei is making a lot of changes in every room, so I won't get too hung up on this. It's also hard to guess what is going on here, but it could simply be her just taking a moment to think about how far she's come and take it all in. This clip of the Hound playing with fake snow is closely related to this image we got earlier from HBO, where I was able to identify these two guys next to him as Beric and Thoros. Here you can see one of the rings that Beric usually wears, and these sleeves looks just like Thoros' outfit. You can even see the reddish cape he wears as well. So the Hound is definitely still with the Brotherhood, and they seem to be very high up north because of the amount of snow. It's possible that this is very close to the wall, but we have no way to say for sure. The other thing I noticed about this picture though is that the Hound is wearing black, which makes me wonder if he has already made a stop at Castle Black. Or maybe the Brotherhood had enough money to buy new warmer clothes somewhere. It does look a bit too fancy to be Night's Watch clothes. Hey, maybe he stopped by Winterfell and was given new clothes there. Again, lots of possibilities with this one and not enough hints to guess further. Then there's this clip of the mountain just standing around. And the only thing I wanted to say about this is that I know it's entirely possible for this hairstyle to be worn by any modern day girl, but it does have a bit of a medieval look at the same time. Maybe it's an extra, or maybe she's just part of the filming crew. I'm just putting it out there just in case. I also noticed this Lannister looking fabric here, but it's not telling me much either. Out of all the clips in the Winterfell haul that we got in this video, this is the only one that I could make a couple quick comments on. They're probably discussing the next steps to take against the coming war with the White Walkers, and we can see Tormund addressing one of his own men in what seems to be a bit of an aggressive manner. You see how he does that recoil thing? I wonder if he's just giving him crap for being scared and wanting to hide instead of fight. Who knows? But other than that, I have to mention, like I did in my trailer breakdown, that we can yet again see this girl here, who has been confirmed to be playing Alice Karstark. So it does seem like they're back to being allies with the Starks, after siding with the Boltons last season. Oh, this is also the first time I see Podrick, or at least it looks like him. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm trying to go from the least exciting clips to the most exciting ones. I want to show you now this one of Sansa in the crypts. And Sansa going down to the crypts may not be very exciting, but if you pay attention to this girl back here, she seems to be holding Needle. And if that's true, this would mean that Arya will definitely get to Winterfell, and probably go down to the crypts with Sansa. Hopefully they're getting along here, but it's possible that they end up arguing in this scene as well, even after everything they've been through. They'll probably be happy to see each other again at first, but the disagreements will continue as they're both still very different people. I do think that the one thing that would unite these two sisters together is the death of Littlefinger, because we know he's going to take advantage of their arguing and try to pull them apart. Before we move on, I'll just say that this guy looks like the director Matt Shakman, and if that is correct, then this will happen in episode 4 or 5. Here we have Jon standing in a windy field. Why is this exciting? Well, it certainly looks a lot like the field we saw Tyrion walking on in the trailer. Could Jon be there with him, even though we can't see him here? Could he be about to see the dragons up close in this scene? It's a possibility. It doesn't even have to be the same scene, but it does look like the same location. The grass, the water, the wind. Yep, I sure hope it is. Now this one is one of the craziest clips in the video. I still can't believe they showed this because it reveals something big. It reveals Ellaria Sand with a chain around her hands, which confirms that she is most definitely a prisoner and that she has been taken to Cersei. Last we saw Ellaria, she was on a ship making out with Yara. And thanks to the other clips we got where we were able to tie Theon to the ship battle, it's logical to assume that Yara got caught up in that battle as well, since she would be with Theon. And if that was the same trip that Ellaria Sand was on, and if we assume that they can only be attacked by Euron at sea, then it has got to be Euron who captures Ellaria. This would definitely be a nice little present for Cersei, and as me and many other people have predicted a long time ago, Euron and Cersei will be teaming up this season. So it's all falling into place now. Either that or Cersei just caught Ellaria in some other way, but that doesn't sound likely as we have not seen any hints of a battle between the Lannisters and Dorne. But hey, you never know. There's also this clip we got in the trailer where a man is having an audience with Cersei, and a lot of people believe this will be Euron. This could be him bringing him Ellaria Sand, although super mild spoiler, if you don't want to hear it you can skip to this time in the video, but it's honestly very mild. Tycho Nestoris was confirmed to be making an appearance in Season 7, so I think this could be him asking Cersei to pay off the debt owed to the Iron Bank. Oh, also this guy right here has got to be the director Mark Mylod, so this will happen in episodes 2 or 3. Do you guys think that Cersei will give Ellaria the same treatment she gave Septa Unella, or something worse? I mean, Cersei knows that she killed Myrcella, so I'm expecting Ellaria's torture to be horrible. I get shivers just thinking about it. And last but certainly not least at all, this is the one clip that got me thinking crazy things. The first thing I thought of was that, hey, maybe these are training dummies. That's what they look like to me. But when I thought about it some more, I realized that they look exactly like the legs of the giants. Do you guys realize what this means? The show leaves it open for us to interpret whether the giants are extinct or not. Mance says to Jon that Mag the Mighty was their king, and the last one of a bloodline that stretched even before the first man. So, since he's only talking about a bloodline, and since Wun Wun was still alive when he said this, it's quite possible that the giants are not extinct yet, if there are some that didn't join Mance. But if we do see giants in Season 7, and this isn't an old clip taken from an earlier season, which I doubt because every other clip in this video seems to be of people working on outfits for Season 7, then there's two possibilities. First, the giants that were left beyond the wall could be the ones who come in and save these guys when they get surrounded. But the reason my gut is telling me that this isn't right is because if they cared, they would have joined Mance. And if they didn't join Mance, then they're probably still in their homes way too far up north. What the hell would they be doing down here? So the second possibility sounds a lot more likely to me, which is, just like many of us thought, the Night King will raise giants from the dead as wights. Holy crap, you guys, that is some mind-blowing stuff right there. I still believe that the eye we saw in that other teaser is from the Night King, and not a giant's eye like many people believed. I compared the noses and it matches the Night King's nose a lot better, but I never denied the possibility for there to be white giants in Season 7, and I think we've got proof right here. This is getting me so pumped. Could this be what Jon and his team are running away from in the clips from the trailer? I don't think I would have any nails left to bite after a scene like that, and the edge of my seat would get destroyed. I really want this to be true. And with that, I am done this video, everyone. Leave a like if you liked it, click on the bell to get notified about my next upload. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. And then we see her in the map with the... And then we see her in the room with the map. Cut. If this isn't just Lena Headey or Hetty? This makes me want to dance. And cut.